What if I told you that having just one backup plan means you actually have zero? In the prepper community, there's a saying that could save your life. Two is one, and one is none. Today, I'm breaking down the critical supplies you should be stockpiling right now. Not out of panic, but out of smart, strategic planning. From the energy sources you'll desperately need when the grid goes down, to the small items that become worth their weight in gold in a crisis. I'll show you exactly what to accumulate and why redundancy isn't just important, it's everything. Welcome to Essential Pantry, where we turn preparedness into a lifestyle. If you're ready to build real resilience for you and your family, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our practical prepping guides. Let's talk about something that becomes immediately critical the moment disaster strikes: stored energy. When the power grid fails, your entire modern life comes to a screeching halt. That's why stored energy is the absolute foundation of any serious preparedness plan. And here's the reality: you will consume far more energy than you think in an emergency situation. Start with the basics. Batteries. I'm talking about everything from your standard AA and AAA batteries for flashlights and radios, all the way up to portable power stations capable of running essential appliances. Don't overlook USB-C battery packs either. In today's world, keeping your cell phone and tablets charged isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for communication, navigation, and accessing critical information. But batteries alone won't cut it for the long haul. This is where renewable energy solutions come into play. Solar panels and DIY solar setups offer you a renewable energy source that you can expand over time. The beauty of solar is its scalability. You don't need to drop thousands of dollars all at once. Start with a small system, learn how it works, and build it out as your budget allows. In a prolonged grid down scenario, this investment will pay for itself many times over. Now let's talk about fuel. Gasoline is obviously essential for vehicles and generators, but it requires proper storage. Use fuel stabilizers to extend its shelf life, and make sure you're rotating your supply to prevent spoilage. Store it in approved containers in safe locations away from living spaces. Propane is another incredible option. It stores indefinitely and comes in various canister sizes. From outdoor grills to compact hiking stoves, propane powers it all. Even if you don't have a fireplace, storing wood is a smart move. You can use it for outdoor cooking or emergency heating. And don't stop there. Alcohol stoves running on denatured or isopropyl alcohol, sterno cans, and butane canisters give you versatile cooking and heating options that are compact and long-lasting. Many of these can even be used indoors with the right equipment and ventilation. Here's the bottom line on stored energy: you can never have too much. You simply don't know how long a crisis will last. What you think will be a 3-day event could stretch into weeks or months. Every form of energy storage you have is another layer of security, another backup when your primary system fails. Remember, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Now let's shift gears and talk about the small, inexpensive items that most people completely overlook. But these are the things that will save you time and time again when everything else falls apart. First up, binding materials. I'm talking about paracord, baling wire, and metal wire. Paracord is an absolute prepper favorite, and for good reason. It's incredibly strong, versatile, and compact. You can use it for everything from building shelters to creating makeshift clotheslines, securing tarps, or even emergency repairs on gear. Baling wire and metal wire are equally invaluable for construction, repairs, and improvisation. Then there's the holy trinity of repairs: duct tape, specialty tapes, and glues. Duct tape alone deserves its legendary status. Sealing windows, patching holes, temporary fixes on just about anything, the uses are endless. Add in specialty tapes like electrical tape or gorilla tape, plus various adhesives and zip ties, and you've got a repair kit that can handle almost any situation. These items are dirt cheap, easy to store, and you can accumulate them gradually without even noticing the expense. Here's something people don't realize until they're in the middle of a disaster: you will use way more of these supplies than you ever anticipated. Whether you're building something, making repairs, or improvising solutions because your traditional tools aren't available, having a robust collection of binding items means you're ready for whatever comes your way. Let's talk about fire. Fire starting supplies are compact, affordable, and absolutely invaluable. Lighters are the obvious go-to. They're cheap, and you should be stockpiling them without question. Matches, both strike anywhere and waterproof varieties, give you another layer of redundancy. And ferro rods? These are your long-term backup. A single ferro rod can create thousands of sparks and will last you years, even decades. Store these fire-starting tools throughout your property. Keep some in your home, your vehicle, your bug-out bag, and any outbuildings. You want redundancy in both quantity and location. And here's a bonus perspective. In a prolonged crisis, fire-starting tools become extremely valuable for bartering. While you don't need to hoard hundreds of lighters, having a generous supply ensures you're covered and potentially able to help others in need. Now, once the sun goes down and there's no electricity, you're going to need light. Flashlights and headlamps are non-negotiable. They're affordable, easy to store, and critical for both safety and productivity.
Lamps are particularly valuable because they free up your hands for repairs, navigation, or any task that requires dexterity in the dark. But don't stop with battery-powered lights. Oil lamps with long-lasting fuel give you reliable light that doesn't depend on batteries. Candles, while more of a last resort, are incredibly inexpensive and have an essentially indefinite shelf life. The key is variety and strategic placement. Store light sources throughout your home, in your vehicles, and in outbuildings. You never want to be caught in a situation where you're fumbling around in complete darkness looking for a flashlight. Let me ask you something. How well stocked is your first aid kit? And I'm not talking about a little plastic box with a dozen Band-Aids. I'm talking about serious medical supplies that can handle real emergencies. Most people vastly underestimate how quickly first aid supplies get consumed in serious situations. Sure, you don't need hundreds of Band-Aids, but gauze, dressings, and medical tape? You can go through these incredibly fast when dealing with significant injuries. Think about it. In a real emergency, you might be treating multiple people, dealing with wounds that need frequent dressing changes, or managing an injury over days or weeks while professional medical help is unavailable. Here's the good news. When properly stored, many first aid items last for years. Even supplies that are technically expired can still be used for training and practice, which is valuable in itself. Build your first aid stockpile gradually, but don't skimp on it. Consider the specific needs of everyone in your household, and don't forget about pets or livestock if you have them. A well-stocked medical kit isn't just about surviving, it's about maintaining health and preventing infections and complications that could turn a manageable situation into a life-threatening one. We've covered energy, small essentials, and medical supplies. Now let's talk about the backbone of self-reliance: tools, hygiene supplies, and the most critical prep of all: knowledge. When the power goes out and stays out, your electric tools become expensive paperweights. That's why manual tools are absolutely essential. I'm talking about hammers, hand saws, drill bits, socket sets, and ratchets. Over time, build a collection that covers a wide range of tasks. You don't need to buy everything at once. Pick up quality tools gradually and focus on versatility. But tools are only half the equation. You need hardware: hinges, nails, screws, bolts. These are the building blocks of repairs and construction. A well-stocked hardware supply means you can fix things, build structures, or improvise solutions without needing to run to the store. And let's be honest, in a real emergency, that store might not even be open. Organize these supplies so you can find what you need quickly. There's nothing more frustrating than knowing you have the right screw somewhere, but wasting an hour trying to locate it. And here's the beauty of these preps. They're not just for emergencies. These tools and supplies come in handy for routine repairs and projects all the time, making them a smart investment for any household, regardless of whether disaster strikes. Now let's talk about something nobody likes to discuss, but everybody needs: hygiene and sanitation supplies. Toilet paper is the classic prepper staple, and its only real limitation is storage space. Stock up as much as you can reasonably store. The same goes for feminine hygiene products. These are absolutely essential for households with women and girls, and they're often overlooked in preparedness planning. Here's a tip that'll save you money and storage space. Switch to bar soap. Bar soap lasts much longer than liquid alternatives and is far less prone to spoilage or leaking. You can incorporate it into your daily routine right now, rotating through your stockpile naturally. Vinegar is another underrated hero. It's a versatile cleaner with multiple uses, from sanitizing surfaces to cooking applications. Bleach and pool shock can be stored for sanitation and even water purification in emergencies. Don't underestimate the value of trash bags. They have countless uses beyond just waste disposal. Think improvised rain gear, waterproof storage, ground covers, and more. And 5-gallon buckets, these are absolute gold. Storage, sanitation, makeshift toilets, washing, food storage, the uses are endless. Never throw away a good bucket. Seriously, you'll always find a use for it. Let's talk about money. Financial preparedness is often overlooked in prepper circles, but it's crucial. While most of us can't afford to keep vast sums sitting in the bank, having cash on hand is non-negotiable.
In grid-down scenarios or during banking disruptions, cash becomes king for everyday transactions. Store cash in various locations, your wallet, a home safe, or other secure spots. Don't keep everything in one place. Now, for longer-term economic instability, consider precious metals. Gold and silver serve as hedges against economic collapse or hyperinflation. While cash might lose value rapidly in such scenarios, precious metals retain purchasing power and can be used for larger transactions or bartering. Silver, being more affordable than gold, is often more practical for small exchanges. You're not going to buy groceries with a 1-ounce gold coin, but silver quarters or 1-ounce silver rounds, those become extremely useful. Accumulate precious metals gradually, focusing on what fits your budget. Even small amounts add up over time. Financial preparedness is about flexibility and adaptability in uncertain times. It's another layer of that redundancy principle we started with. But here's the truth that every experienced prepper knows. All the supplies in the world won't save you if you don't know how to use them effectively. Education and training are the ultimate multipliers.
Knowledge enhances the value of every single piece of gear you own, enabling you to use it more effectively and adapt to changing circumstances. Start with first aid. Take actual courses, not just watching YouTube videos, though those can supplement your learning. Practice regularly. In a real emergency, you need those skills to be second nature, not something you're trying to remember from a video you watched 2 years ago. If you own firearms, get professional training. Owning a gun doesn't make you proficient any more than owning a guitar makes you a musician. Seek out qualified instructors and practice regularly. Your life or the lives of your loved ones may depend on your competence with these tools. Study disaster scenarios that are actually relevant to your area. If you live in Florida, spend more time preparing for hurricanes than blizzards. If you're in earthquake country, that's your priority. Develop plans tailored to your specific situation, not generic advice that may or may not apply to you. Stay informed about current events and emerging threats, but be smart about your information sources. There's a lot of noise out there, a lot of fear-mongering designed to sell products rather than actually help you prepare. Focus on local risks and your unique situation. Think critically about the information you consume. And understand this, preparedness is an ongoing process. It's not something you do once and check off your list. Regularly review and update your knowledge, skills, and supplies. The more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to handle whatever comes your way. Your brain is the one prep you always have with you, the one thing that can't be stolen or run out of. Invest in it heavily. Look, I get it. This can feel overwhelming. You're looking at this list thinking, how am I supposed to afford all this? Where am I going to store it all? Here's the secret. You don't do it all at once. Most preparedness items can be acquired gradually. Focus on affordable essentials first, things like lighters, duct tape, batteries, and basic first aid supplies. Then expand your stockpile as your resources allow. Think about multi-use items. Many of the supplies I've mentioned serve multiple purposes and can be valuable for bartering in a crisis. Versatility is your friend. And remember, organization is just as important as acquisition. Keep your supplies organized and accessible. Rotate perishable items and regularly check expiration dates. An disorganized stockpile is nearly as useless as no stockpile at all. Start somewhere. Start anywhere. Buy an extra pack of batteries this week. Pick up some paracord next week. Gradually add to your collection of tools and hardware. Every single item you add is one more layer of security, one more solution you'll have available when things go wrong. Preparedness isn't a one-time project, it's a lifestyle. It's a mindset shift from dependence to self-reliance, from hoping things will be okay to knowing you can handle whatever comes your way. By embracing redundancy, focusing on essential supplies, and investing in education and training, you build real resilience for yourself and your loved ones. Most importantly, remember that preparedness is personal. What works for someone in rural Montana might not work for you in suburban Texas. What's critical for a family of 6 is different from what a single person needs. Tailor your plans and stockpile to your unique needs, your specific risks, your actual situation. Don't blindly follow someone else's list. Use information like this as a starting point, then adapt it to your reality. And never stop learning. The world changes, threats evolve, and new solutions become available. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay prepared. Because at the end of the day, the principle of 2 is 1 and 1 is none isn't just about having backup supplies. It's about having backup plans, backup skills, and backup options for every aspect of your life. If you found this valuable, make sure you're subscribed to Essential Pantry and hit that notification bell so you never miss our practical preparedness guides. Drop a comment below and let me know. What's the one prep item you think is most underrated? What are you focusing on right now? Let's learn from each other. Take care, stay prepared, and approach each day with the confidence that comes from knowing you're ready for whatever the future holds.